In this video, we are going to be talking about how to handle wearing both glasses and contact lenses in Jiu-Jitsu. Hey guys, it's Andre from Jiu-Jitsu Junction, and we are going to be talking about how to handle vision correction in Jiu-Jitsu. The first thing we are going to be going over is how to handle wearing glasses in Jiu-Jitsu training. Then we're going to be talking about what to expect if you wear contact lenses in a Jiu-Jitsu training environment. Full disclosure, this is what I do, this is what most of my training partners do, and it really works well for us. Then we can go into a little bit of some niche vision correction options that might be appropriate for you. For the most part, if you can see within an arm's length of yourself, you're going to be able to do most of your training without wearing your glasses. That being said, you should still be putting on your glasses in order to see all of the details during the technique demonstration portion of class. You really don't want to be missing out on details because you have blurry vision. I've already mentioned that I usually wear contacts, but that doesn't mean there aren't situations in which I have to switch to wearing glasses. Training accidents happen. You get your eyes scratched, you get a black eye. It becomes really uncomfortable sometimes to be wearing contacts. Scratched my eyes, I've caught stray elbows and ended up with pretty painful black eyes, and I really didn't want to put in my contacts for any of those situations. But at the same time, I didn't feel like it was necessary or beneficial for me to stop training. I still wanted to get in my mat time, so I switched to wearing glasses. So I just followed my advice from earlier. I would put on my glasses anytime that a technique was being demonstrated or I was trying to pick up more technical details. I took them off for drilling, and I definitely had them off for live grappling. Would it have been better to have my perfectly corrected vision? Absolutely. But that wasn't really an option, so I just did my best to get my mat time in. All that being said, I am pretty darn nearsighted. If your vision's better than mine, this might not affect you the same way it affected me. Many of my training partners have vision that's better than mine. They can forget to put on their glasses, and they're still able to train effectively. They might not even notice that they forgot to put them on. However, for me, that's not really going to happen because I can only basically tell that there are two people on the mat. So now let's go into how contact lenses work in Jiu-Jitsu. Like I said, this is really the most common option. Lots of people are wearing contacts nowadays, and especially the people who are very active tend to like wearing contact lenses. Obviously, if we're talking about being able to see and learn the techniques, during that portion, we're exactly the same as anybody else who has perfect vision. Where things start to differ is when we have our contacts sliding around or if we lose a contact on the mats. This can happen. It can happen with shoulder pressure, just any kind of friction that goes across your eyelid, and sometimes it can even get knocked out if you catch an accidental stray elbow. It's a good idea to be prepared in case something like this happens. I have had a pretty bad experience when I popped out a contact and I lost it. Driving home with one contact is pretty difficult if you have bad vision like I do. It's even worse if you're driving home in a blizzard like I had to. So after I had that experience, I decided that I needed to change something right away to make sure I'm prepared in the off chance that something like this happens. So I put an old pair of glasses in my glove compartment of my car. It's also a pretty good option to just always keep an old pair of glasses in your gym bag. I just put it in a hard case like this one. It keeps it protected, and it also makes sure that I have an option in case I lose my contact. Alternately, you can carry spare contacts, but this doesn't really account for if you have your eye scratched or you have a pretty painful black eye and you really want to just get your contacts out and have a way to get home safely. So I would really recommend that you keep yourself covered. Pack one of these. At the very least, you should be bringing a spare set of contacts. So earlier I mentioned that there are some niche vision correction options that you can use in Jiu-Jitsu. These aren't for everybody, but it's a good idea to know what's out there. Some of the things that you could look into include getting very bendy frames. You really see this more commonly with very young children, that like toddlers that need vision correction. They do make these kinds of frames for adults. They're a little expensive, and honestly, most of the time, they're not worth it. The other option is getting prescription goggles. These are really most useful for people who have an eye condition that results in your eyes being very sensitive to pressure. A side benefit is that you can get them to correct your vision as well. And the third most accessible option is getting overnight contact lenses. These lenses work by reshaping your eyes so that you have temporarily corrected vision throughout the day. Really though, the answer for most people is to just follow the protocols that we went over in regards to putting on and taking off glasses. For people with contacts, you can pretty much train normally like anybody else, but it really pays to be prepared and keep a spare set of glasses with you so you don't have to drive home with one contact in a blizzard like I had to. Thank you for watching. I hope that you found this content helpful. And if you did, I would really appreciate it if you took a second and you smash that like button. It really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next video.